Dari, hello. It's the end of May, and welcome to the study in England. And today I'm going to review the IKEA Bekant Motorised table or standing desk. Now, I'm a great non-believer in standing desks for working. I think it's an annoyance. I think it's expensive, and I don't really believe in the health benefits. In my opinion, I would much rather go for a walk or a run. Or a cycle to get my exercise than stand at a desk. So with that said, why am I the proud owner of an IKEA Bekant motorised standing desk? The reason is that I do quite a lot of computer work still, and we don't have very much space in this house. Now in our old home in Switzerland, we had a Bekant style desk with a wooden top. And when we came back to England, I treated myself to the motorised desk instead. And why is that? Well, it's practical in terms of access. And occasionally, it is useful to stand at the desk, perhaps when you are demonstrating something to somebody else. So it does have a mild form of use, but the main form is to press this button, and you'll see it goes up or it goes down. It's quite nice to be able to sit at the desk and exactly adjust the height that you want. So for different people, they're obviously going to need different heights of working, and it's a nice customizable feature, but that doesn't totally make up for the over 400 British pounds which was spent on the desk. The main reason we use it in the study here is for access. So if you can see down here, we have an IKEA Kallax with some various different bits and bobs in there, and although due to lack of space we've had to move something out of this room, what remains is used very, very frequently. So obviously, to get access to these boxes, it's very convenient to lift the table, get the boxes out, and put the table back again. So really it's down to access. I wanted to actually look at the table and just give you some pointers on what you might specify if you had a table like this. So the point of the story is that the base legs are left there and right there. They're the same. The feet and the tabletop are totally customizable. So in our case, we've got a tabletop which has a wide edge here. So you could get one that was just like a rectangle, but this is sort of an L shape. In the rectangle case, you'd have one small foot and a second small foot. Since we have this L shape here, we have a large foot on this side, and you can get other table shapes. You can get the L in the other direction as well. So that's the legs. This unit here is the up and down. There's a key which fits in here, which you can remove. If you remove that key, then it locks that switch. The switch becomes inoperative, so that's a small security measure. The table is powered from a standard British plug, and it drives a 32 volt power supply. So what we're going to do now is have a look under the table and see how it all works. So there's the mesh which contains all the gubbins. There's the power lead, and it goes into a mains adapter here, and there are 4 sockets, 2 there and 2 there. They are keyed and they're all identical. It's not clear what socket goes where, so we followed the exact installation guide, not wanting to put the wires in the wrong places. We're very happy with the table, but the last part of the story is the fact that the table failed. So the table's been working for about 1.5 years, and unexpectedly, recently, it failed. And the first thing we did, we went to IKEA and we got, free of charge from IKEA, a new adapter. Now the mains adapter was rated at something over 30 volts, but when we measured it with a meter, it was only 24 volts. So we were thinking, oh, that's going to fix it. So we plugged in the new power adapter, no change. So we had another possible point of failure, which is this switch mechanism here. So eventually we got IKEA to post us a new switch mechanism, fitted that, table still didn't move. So the only thing it could have been with our faulty table, which, as I said, it stopped moving completely, there was a situation where it was only going down and then eventually it stopped completely, perhaps because it was in the lowest position in fact, was that the motors, there must have been something wrong with the motors. There's a metal frame here, but the metal frame doesn't really do anything. There's no electronics in the metal frame. The only component parts are this motor here and perhaps some electronics in the top, the switch and the power supply. So having replaced the switch and the power supply, the only thing to do was to change the actual motors themselves. Now that brings us to the last important point really, which is that the IKEA Bekant Motorised table is covered with a 10-year warranty, and that's a very long warranty, and IKEA have a very good track record of no-nonsense returns. So I think it's an important factor if you are looking and believe in a standing table for reasons other than our reason, which is convenience and configurability. Perhaps you really do want to work in a standing position, then the reason that I'd recommend the table is the 10-year warranty, because if anything does go wrong, you've got IKEA's brand name and no nonsense return to rely on. Again, this is a 480 I think pound table, sorry, in cost. It's pretty heavy as well, and so having the comfort to know that years after purchase you can still get some after sales service, I think that really means a lot to me. So that's it really. It's an IKEA Bekant Motorised table. It's about £500. It's very solid. It did fail after 1.5 years, but IKEA were very good at trying to fix it, and eventually a man in a lorry came. He brought 2 new motorised legs and a frame. We gave him most of the frame back and we exchanged the 2 motorised legs. That took about 30 minutes to repair, and it's back in action. So, recommended, of course. IKEA, there's no substitute, and this table is just excellent. Thanks for watching.